Hello everyone. What a fantastic day. I came a little bit late because I was flying in from Iceland and the plane was late. But Atao then asked me to introduce myself because I had one of those minutes and I couldn't come to. So I'm Thor Magnusson. I am a musician. I'm a live coder. I play the guitar and I teach music and do research in music technology at the University of Sussex in Brighton. And I work with Matthew King and Francisco on the Mimic project, amongst others. So we're a team of 3 universities up in Durham University, Goldsmiths, and University of Sussex. Yeah, that was my minute, basically. I've been working on some research into music technologies and the kind of tracing their history back. And I published a book recently called Sonic Writing. And in that book, I tried to kind of trace the kind of genealogies of the technologies that we're using today, the stuff that we're talking about, back into the past. And you start to be, when you look at our technologies from a historical perspective, you start to become a bit skeptical sometimes. And we might ask, you know, is this AI that we're talking about here, is this just a big hype? You know, hasn't AI been having like these hype kind of curves throughout history? And what is going on now? How can we critically look at what is going on now? And if we look at music theory over, you know, since the beginning of written music theory, you can see that in early Greek manuscripts, there's music theory. The music is written down as systems, and then when you play the theory, you're basically rendering from the theory. So it's basically a file format. It's a software, and you execute the theory and you make music. Then this is also because of kind of sparse media. You know, you wouldn't be writing all these notes down. Just write the theory, and you don't have to write all the scores. And this kind of continues into medieval times, and you find people starting to explore with combinatorics. Raymond Lull in Catalonia, and others were kind of looking at how to do combinatorics, how to create automatic systems for musical robots. The Arabs were into that. And then in the 17th century, we see in Europe combinatorics, mathematical, logical combinatorics with Leibniz and Pascal and others. And affiliated with that was a lot of people trying to create automatic music systems. Kircher was a monk who came up with lots of interesting systems for generative music. And then we find more musical automata, electronics, and so on. And then in 56, we find the first computer music, and it actually uses machine learning in a way. It's generated by machine with Markov chains, and that's AI. And we can then ask, looking back at this history, what is new now? What's the hype about? And you could be quite skeptical and think that it's just the same, but I don't think so. I think there is something new going on, and it's because now we suddenly have technologies that are actually learning. So all the stuff, all the computer music until maybe mid-2000s, whatever. Well, of course, there was some neural network music in the 80s and 90s, but a lot of it we could have just calculated with pen and paper and a calculator maybe, and we could have done this music. But the music that we're doing now and the stuff that we've been hearing about, these wonderful projects we saw, these are not projects that he could have done with a dice or a calculator or some system. So there's something new going on. We're teaching the computer in a way that we haven't been able to teach anything else except maybe animals or children or something, you know. But this is quite fresh and new and interesting. So that's really where I want to open this up, and also maybe to look at this AI, the question of AI from just noting that we're doing this, talking about it here in the perspective of art and music and culture. Because if we were here full of cognitive scientists and philosophers, they would have very different concerns about creativity. Can a computer be creative is one of their favorite questions. And same with computer scientists. You know, they're quite interested in these questions as well,